Long live the Empire. Welcome back to Trekyards, everyone.
Now,
I'm...
those at home that did that get a point because it's a thing we do on Trekyards. Even if I abstractly say it to the middle of life, you just have to do it. So hopefully you guys will do it too. If not, go back to the start, rewatch it, and do it for us.
You have to. It's the rules. Welcome back, guys. I'm Admiral Foley.
And I am Supreme Commander Coggins.
Oof.
Work
Nice.
that one out, Stuart.
Well, we're back to talk about Lower Decks, specifically Episode 8, Excretius, where they had a bunch of holodeck simulations, and obviously, in case you can't tell, today we're talking about the Mirror Universe, or the Terran Empire one. And
This one was
of fun
fun.
stuff to talk about.
This was real fun. This was the first one we got to see. Thank goodness. And it was given almost enough time. Could have been a bit longer. But that we'll save for lots of these things. And it was how did it feel, Stuart? Was this prime Mirror Universe goodness?
It was, yeah. I mean, Mirror Universe is always fun. Might be a little overdone at this point because of Discovery and stuff, but I always like seeing the alternate takes on reality. I love seeing, those altered timelines, any time travel episode. I love those kind of things. So this is fantastic. And one of the things I really liked about this was the new emblem. The new Terran Empire emblem, which is actually not new. Maybe a lot of you haven't seen it, or you've seen it in pin form. Never been on screen. It's been in comic books. It's the TNG era Terran emblem. And I thought that was fantastic for them to include that in this episode because it canonizes it. It put it on screen. It's a cool looking symbol, and it's a nice evolution of all the ones we've seen. So...
And what I like about Lower Decks is that it does things logically. There's obviously an artistic layer on all of media, but when they go to an era, they actually just do the things that are there. They understand it's a historical piece, and it should be respected. And so this episode of Mirror Universe, you watch it and enjoy what you're seeing, but you don't realize how much attention and detail they presented in its elements until you have the comparison of shots to say how close they got. While still being a little bit conflicting in that it's obviously a fictional Mirror Universe timeline, yet they're using the TOS aesthetics inside of the Cerritos, which has been modified to be Terran, which means that the Holo person customized it to their ship, but didn't use the old TOS logo. So it's a hybrid in of itself anyway.
I never thought about that, actually. You're right. They're wearing the TOS uniforms while still being just a Terran Empired up Cerritos. It's got the same corridors, more or less, just with, like, spiky things.
Because it would have been an absolute identical level of quality if it had been the TOS Enterprise corridors with the symbols that were... Because the people would have fit into those better, or have them be mirror versions of the Cerritos uniforms. Both would have worked. They did both. Like, it works just fine, and it's great to see. And obviously, they're iconic versions of the uniforms, more iconic than Enterprise. So it gives you that oomph of wow, mirror. But really, it is just a customized version of their sets with spikes for some reason. I think I did joke to you on the live. They're the designated superior officer killing points. Each one, if you think your officer's doing bad things, each corner you can kill him on, dedicated points.
Yeah, I mentioned that as like just push somebody onto the spikes. They're just there for that.
Dedicated zones. But it's a great little scene. I love the tracks, the little combat, the non-combat. I thought it was super apt. Boimler what do you say? He said either I'm gonna sleep with them or kill my superior. Which one? It's like, yep, that's very apt. And of course, what did the engineering team say, Stuart?
Oh, that they're so horny, but horny makes them want to torture, and then torturing makes them horny. So it's a vicious cycle. You can get caught in it for all day.
Oh my god, what an unusual take on that. But it was great, and the fact that Mariner went straight from the mission, which was get off the planet or get off the ship, to take over the Terran Empire, obviously asked the questions of, are these things just public? Because they seem to know all about the Terran Empire. This is visibly stuff they're showing. Not, they obviously had Kirk and McCoy give very detailed descriptions of the Terran universe uniforms to be able to replicate those in a holodeck. But then, is this their created Terran TNG symbol, or was there a new TNG Terran Empire after DS9 and then we met them and then we have their symbol? because the Terran Empire was destroyed by the Cardassians and Klingons, stupidly in my opinion. So this is not even a real Terran Empire, or do they make another alternate? Because they don't know the real.
That's a good point.
Because there is no Terran Empire at this point in the Mirror Universe, but it's obviously all fiction anyway because it's a holodeck or holopod. So it's a weird one. It's not classified, but they've made their own thing. Yeah.
That opens up so many questions, Samuel. Like, yeah, how public knowledge is the Terran Empire? Is that something you really want to teach every Starfleet officer? Probably, maybe, but also not really. That's a very good point. Like, people knowing that exists is very much not a great idea. If they have devious plans, they can. Oh man, I don't know.
Because it's not played for anything secret here. This is like, oh yeah, oh cool, Terran Empire, Mirror Universe, like played for nothing. But let's look at some comparison shots though, Stuart. The first one is a little through time of the Terran symbol. So we saw it in the 60s, we saw it in the 2000s, and then back here, and here is the main three. We're not going to include Discovery because Discovery was trying to do its own thing radically. It wasn't trying to fit in. I'm just going to leave that out for now because they did their own thing. There's no evolution line there. So here's the line as we see it properly. Thoughts?
Like I said earlier, I mean, it's great progression of the logo. I love how in the Enterprise era, you can see all the continents on one side of the globe. I mean, it must be the flat Earth theory, I guess. Then in TOS, you just get the, North America and South America. So it's a nice evolution of the whole, like even the sword, the way it evolves over time. I think it's great. I really love the new Terran Empire symbol. I do have the pin, the magnetic pin, at home. So
the TOS one for me always felt a little bit weedy and thin. Everything's a bit thin. I think the NXO one's pretty much perfect as a very vicious, but this new one, it actually even harkens a sword and a shield by its thickening. Like it doesn't feel quite as aggressive, but it feels more progressive towards a stronger overall feel. The other two are just we conquer Earth, boom, boom, boom. The other one is we have big strength, and there's like a scabbard it goes into, and it's just a very vicious. It's a very good redesign, a very good evolutionary design, and certainly verbatim. I think is a fair thing to say. They took the pin for and the thing for the comics and just put it right in the show. I
do like your take on that, being like it looks like a Spartan shield in front of the sword. Like, we'll protect Earth at all costs, or the Terran. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Because you can imagine their shields might also have the planet on to symbolize this is Earth first, and then the sword goes. So I always thought that was quite cool. And of course, second shot, which I don't think people necessarily appreciate, is how close they got the Marionette and Nichelle Nichols. They picked her, and it's her own custom version. But very well done, faithful, good job.
Makes you wonder if the ships in the Terran Empire, the temperature's set a little hotter because they have to wear less all the time. Maybe it's just cooler to have those uniforms with no sleeves and stuff. No, they got the sashes and the look down quite well. So, yeah, pretty simple though.
Yeah, but I mean, they are arguably not the TOS uniforms because the tops are not the same. So they have their own unique flair, even though being clearly derivative.
Also, I got to say the transporter room set up with the panels and the emblem looks fantastic. So I like that look.
Yeah, it was a fantastic oomph. Here we go. No, overall, just a wonderful episode. Great to see. And I'm not sure how we can, but I hope we see more of it. Have a full episode in it, have a nightmare sequence, whatever. It's the second Strax we've seen. We saw him drawn like this, or at least similar anyway, in a dream sequence or a hallucination thing. But hopefully we'll see it again at some point because it's just fun, I
always love visiting the Mirror Universe. So anyway, guys, let us know in the comments section what you thought about the Mirror Universe scene from I Excretius. And long live the Empire, by the way. There you go.
I guess the second Terran Empire already fell once.
Yeah. And as Admiral Foley, I'm telling you to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell icon to all. Otherwise, I've got an agonizer. Well, personal agonizer, which I'll use on you as I take you to the agonizer booth. But I got a whole agonizer booth with your name on it. So you got to do all those things that I just said. Otherwise, you're in trouble.
Basically, you got a whole plan, is what I'm hearing. So hopefully you guys are going to plan to help us by adding on the Patreon, joining the channel, super chatting if you can, or following the links down below in the description. A lot of ways, a lot of things. If you can, please do. If you can't, don't worry, just keep tuning in. We thank you in advance and tune in for the next Trekyards video.
That's right. So until then, he's Superior Commander? What were you
again?
Supreme
Commander.
Oh,
Cockings.
Supreme Commander Cockings. You got to say that I'm Admiral Foley.
Higher ranks don't have to.
You do though, because I'm gonna kill you in a minute. So
you could try.
All right. Well, I'm Admiral
staring at a
Foley.
screen.
Until...
Well, actually, I am. Show a screen where there's a button I can just go, bzzz, and he's gone. So.
I'm Admiral Foley until the next time you see me, where I'll have Samuel's rank. So until then, long live the Empire.
Bye, guys.
Bye.